I don't remember a ton about what it's about, so I need to look it up. Look it up, Sarah. Look it up. Be a good booktuber. Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to do a Kindle haul. I kind of realized, I have a lot that I've downloaded lately. A lot of them are from NetGalley. So this is probably the past couple of months that I've been downloading some books. I have 3 that I purchased, and then all the rest are from NetGalley because a lot of publishers are still sending e-arcs only. So I do have quite a few of those, so I will let you know what those are. And I was looking at my list and realized it's time to do a haul. So these are things that I have downloaded recently onto my Kindle. Okay, so books that I purchased, like I said, there's only 3. The first one is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I got this for $1.99. And this one, I believe, is a take on A Christmas Carol. With the ghosts of Christmas past and present and future and all that stuff. That's what I'm understanding. Or maybe Holly becomes one of the ghosts. I don't really know. I've heard good things about it. Definitely more of a Christmas time book, so I'll probably see about maybe picking it up over Christmas this year. But yeah, so it was definitely on my wish list, and I went ahead and grabbed it for super cheap. The next one I have is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This one I also got for $1.99. This is, I believe, a middle grade fantasy that is very popular. It's older, so it's been around for a long time. So yeah, I've always wanted to read it. I've always been interested in it, so grab that one. And then the last one that I purchased is Behind Every Lie by Christina McDonald, another one that I got for $1.99. And Christina McDonald is an author that I follow, and she writes, from what I'm understanding, very suspenseful novels. And I don't know exactly what this one is about, but suspense always intrigues me, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Okay, so NetGalley, quite a bit to talk about here. So Every Last Secret by A.R. Torrey. This one came out in December, so it's already out. This is an author that I have not read anything from yet, but I have so many of her books, it's ridiculous. And I'm really interested in reading from her. And she is also from the same area in Florida that I'm from. Like, she would be considered a local author to me from my hometown, so that's really cool. I just haven't read anything by her yet, but this is her newest release. Another one I got was Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells. Comes out in April. This is part of the Murderbot series, which, yeah, I haven't started yet, but this is going to be the newest release, so I need to get started on those. They are shorter novellas, at least in the beginning. I think they get longer and longer as they progress, from what I'm understanding, but I still need to at least get started on those. Oh. But those are adult sci-fi. The next one is The Stolen Kingdom by Jillian Bohemi. Comes out in March. Okay, so this one is a young adult fantasy book, and it follows a kingdom that is being ruled by very greedy kings, and the royal family is just all around awful, and they are ruling this kingdom. And our main character is a girl, and she realizes that she actually has a bloodline that makes her an heir to the throne. So she wants to try to take hold of that so that she can get these people out of the royal family, get them out of power, because they're hurting their kingdom. And then it also follows the king's second son, who is very uncomfortable with his family. He does not agree with the way that they rule. And so I think that there's a forbidden love thing happening between those two as well. And then our main character becomes kind of part of this group that's trying to overthrow everything. So, sounds interesting. The next one is Hurricane Summer, and this is by Asha Bromfield, and it comes out in May. So this follows a family, and the father of this family every summer goes back to his home island of Jamaica and spends his summers there. And it always hurts the daughter of this family. She doesn't understand why he leaves for so long, and it's never explained. And then when she's old enough, her mother tells her, you're going to go to Jamaica and you're going to stay with your dad during this time. And she's not very excited about this. She's very intrigued to go because she wants to know why her father always feels the need to go back there all the time, but she doesn't really want to. She's, I don't know, kind of terrified of it, I guess. And then, so while she goes and she's there, she's learning family secrets. She's learning about things she never knew about. And then a hurricane actually is threatening the island as well. So, yeah. Okay. The next one, you guys, is by an author who I have loved in the past. And, this will be her newest release. It's The King of Infinite Space by Lindsay Fay. And Lindsay Fay likes to do some retellings. This one is a Hamlet retelling. And it's going to be magical because she kind of does like almost magical realism in a way. There is also a male-male love story in here, which is awesome. And it's going to follow multiple people who are all connected and kind of where they're going, what's happening, how they're going to end up coming together in one kind of big, almost collision course. And then something's going to happen from that. So I think it's people who are a part of each other's lives, maybe estranged, but they end up all coming back together. And I don't know too many details, but I don't really want to either. I love Lindsay Fay, and so I really hope that this one is going to be really good too. She's a beautiful writer. This one comes out in August. Next one is actually a book that is on my most anticipated releases for winter, so I'm really excited. This one comes out in March, and that is The Ladies of the Secret Circus by Constance Sayers. And this one follows a girl who, I believe she finds letters from, or a diary or something of her grandmother's or someone in her family. And it talks about members of her family being part of a secret circus in the past and what that entails, what caused it, why they were this way. I think that's what this is. I'm pretty positive that's what I'm getting from the synopsis. So definitely one of my most anticipated because I love circus books. Anything set in a circus or a fair or anything like that, I am all for. Okay, so the next one here is a middle grade, and this one is called The Hat Makers, and this is by Tamsin Merchant. And this one follows a young girl whose father goes missing, and they live in this world where you have different types of makers. So there's watchmakers, clock makers, dressmakers, like all sorts of things, and then there's hat makers, which is what she is. And the whole premise behind this is that you have a hat and then you add ingredients to it. So the more accessories and the more things that are on it, it will give you different types of powers, which is really, really cool. And then our main character's father goes missing. And so she is trying to find out exactly what happened to him. Is there some sort of conspiracy going on and all that stuff? But I just love the premise of the hats having ingredients and those ingredients making up something completely unique. So I just love that concept. And this one just came out February 2nd. Okay, so this next one is a historical fiction book, and it is called Surviving Savannah. This is by Patty Callahan. And this one comes out in March, and it follows a woman who, I believe she's like a museum collection curator, possibly. You know, she curates collections for museums, yes, like historical artifacts and stuff. And she is tasked with curating a collection for a museum from the remains of a shipwreck that really happened. And it happened in the 1800s, I believe. It was kind of called the Titanic of the South type of thing. And the ship was carrying very highly regarded or very elite people who lived in Savannah, Georgia at the time. And the ship exploded in the water and there weren't that many survivors. And this is based on not only the remains of the wreckage, but two of the living survivors from a certain family that was on that ship are giving their stories as well. So the museum curator is learning all this about the history of this occurrence that was happening. So it sounded pretty fascinating, and I like that it's based on an actual something that really did happen. So I'm interested to learn about this. Okay, so the next one is Maybe One Day by Debbie Johnson. This one comes out in March, and this is an adult contemporary book. This follows Jess and Joe, and Jess and Joe were married for a very long time. They have children, everyone's happy. And then Joe abruptly abandons her. and the family. And she doesn't know why. And over time, she just has to come to terms with it because she never understands why. And then come to find out, she finds some letters, I think in her mother's house, maybe, some things that were from Joe explaining what happened, where he was. He didn't actually abandon them. And so because of this information that she's learning, she tries to track him down because he's been gone for a very, very long time. And so she's trying to track him down to see where he is, if he's still alive, because I think maybe some of the correspondence seemed like something could have happened to him. So she goes on this journey to try to find him. So I thought that sounded very interesting. Okay, so this next one I thought sounded like a really good time. This is another adult contemporary, and that is My Ride or Die by Leslie Cohen. This one comes out in April, and this one follows Sophie and Amanda, and they are friends. They are best friends. Now, usually the way things go is you have your friendships, you get married, and then you have your friends on the side that you see occasionally, and like they are your best friends. So you turn to them when you need them, but you are married to somebody else and you spend your life with somebody else, right? That's usually how it goes, right? But Sophie and Amanda decide, I think they both end like just really toxic relationships at the same time. And they say, you know what? We don't have to do this. We don't have to do what's normal. We are going to live together. We are going to be each other's spouses. And then we can have the men on the side for fun. The men can be the BFFs who we see occasionally and, but we don't go home to them every single night. So that's what they do. They buy a house together. They set it up the way that they want to. They still date and see other people and see people, but it's nothing serious. They're not planning to move in with anybody because they are moved in with each other, right? So they decide to do this. They're just going to take matters into their own hands. And then I think one of them ends up with somebody and it becomes more serious. And so it's going to complicate things because they have this agreement that they're going to do this. But then I think maybe one of them ends up wanting out. So there's going to be some drama there. But I thought it sounded really cool. Okay, so the last one here is The Social Graces by Renee Rosen. This is a historical fiction, and this one comes out in April as well. And this one follows Manhattan in 1876 and just kind of, the men are in charge of everything, but the women are in charge of society, basically. And the one person that is depicted in this book that had me intrigued to pick it up is there's a Vanderbilt in here. Someone from the Vanderbilt family. And I'm really interested in that because we now live right across the bridge from one of the Vanderbilt estates. And we actually went and saw it and everything. And it was really cool. So I'm interested to learn more about the Vanderbilts and their family. And I know this is a historical fiction. It's going to be, not necessarily historically accurate, but it still interests me to read a book that has a character that is a Vanderbilt in here, based on the actual family. So that is what intrigued me about this one. Okay, those are all the books I downloaded. That was a lot, guys. I have a lot on my Kindle. And it really is because publishers are really still only doing e-arcs for the most part. I've seen there's been a few physical arcs floating around there, but not very many. A lot of publishers are still working from home and just doing the e-arc thing, which is totally fine. But my NetGalley is getting up there, which is why I'm working on that this year to try to bring it down, try to bring that number down. I'm working diligently trying to get that under control and trying not to download too much. But over the past couple of months, those are the ones that I have downloaded. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you're interested in any of these. I will leave Amazon links to all of these books down below as well. And I know, some of them I got, or all of these I got on Kindle, but I'll leave the physical books down below just in case you guys appreciate physical over Kindle, because I know not everybody reads electronically. And then when you click on that link, you can also choose the format that you want. So if you'd rather get the Kindle book, you can choose that format too. I just tend to leave physical links initially down below, but from there you can go to whatever format you want, whether it's hardback, paperback, Kindle, doesn't matter. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.